All right, good morning. Welcome back to Intro to Statistics here. So we're going to continue talking about our normal distribution problems, applications to normal distribution. This is section 7.2. So let's see here. And our problem, okay, we have a population with a mean of 61. So they told us that. They say a normal population. So we need that as a keyword. So, okay, so that's an important word because there's other distributions. Okay, our book only deals with binomial, normal, and they did a little bit of uniform in the last section, but mostly these are the distributions that are used most often. Okay, so we have normal distribution, we have a mean of 61, so that's an important thing. We're going to go ahead and write that down. Okay, so we're going to say it's normal. Okay, in other books they'll do something like this. They'll say x, and then this tilde has a normal distribution, and then we're going to write down the mean and the standard deviation. So that's 61 and 17. 61 and 17. That's how you would say it. You would interpret this as x has a normal distribution, okay, with mean 61 and standard deviation, standard dev, equals 17. Okay, uh, this is more advanced notation, so if you guys don't want to write that, I'm not going to be upset about it. Please write it in a way that's going to make sense to you. So you can write norm and then mean of 61 and standard deviation. You can even put the little mu equals, that's fine. Okay, like this. Okay, mu equals 16, or 61 rather. Get it together here, buddy. Okay. 1 and standard deviation equals 17. Okay, so I'll kind of use this notation for this class just because that'll give all the pertinent parts of the information that we need. But in a more advanced class, if you take like stats 2 someday, they're going to write x tilde, and then they'll say n for normal distribution 6117, because those are the only two parameters you need for a normal distribution. Okay, other distributions will have different things that you're going to need. Okay, so here we have, by the way, it's U for uniform and B for binomial, or they can do BIN, something like that, binomial. Okay, so they want to know what proportion of the population is greater than 100. Okay, so what we're going to do is, most of this is going to, and I apologize for this, that we're pretty much going to be dealing with like calculator, how-to calculator for a lot of this class. Okay, so they want to know what is the proportion that is greater than 100. So what we would do is we'll have our normal distribution here. Here's 61. Okay, here's our normal distribution, and they want to know what proportion is greater than 100. So 100 is like, we have to take steps of 17, don't we? So we'll take a pretty big step, and they want to know, if I do that and I say, okay, well, from 100 onwards, right? They want to know like what probability, what is this area here? Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go to our calculator, and we're going to go to distribution. So second function distribution, it's this one right here. Okay, we're going to do normal, and it's always norm CDF. Okay, we only do two normal ones. We do either CDF or inverse norm, and I'll show you when we need to do inverse. Okay, so norm CDF, and they want to know greater than, right? So they want to know greater than 100. So we're going to type in 100. Okay, and then we're going to need our mean. Actually, we want to know, sorry, 100. So normal, we have to remember, like, what is the format for this thing? So it's norm. Okay, and this is where your money, like if you spent money for a TI-84, this is where it's going to pay off, because they're going to tell you what's the low value, what's the high value, what's the mean, what's the standard deviation. Okay, and if you have a TI-83, then unfortunately that 10 extra dollars, you have to remember this. Okay, and that is something you're going to have to remember. So please practice with the tool you're going to use to take your quiz, because it is important that you're typing the numbers in and you're used to typing the numbers in, because I don't go out of my way to find extra problems. Like I pretty much, my fishing pool for test problems is this right here. Okay. So I might, to hit refresh on them a couple of times to get one that I haven't seen before, but mostly I'm looking at your your quiz problems are effectively your homework problems. Okay, that's the pool I fish in for those. Okay, so they want low, high, and then mean standard deviation. So we want the low value to be 100 and the high value. Pick a number that is big compared to 61 if you get to take steps of 17. Okay, so we're starting at 61, and the steps that we take happen to be 17 feet or 17 inches or 17, whatever value you want, 17 miles. That's the steps that we're going to take. So think about 61. Okay, if we take steps of 17, 20, what's a big number in comparison to that? 500 is a pretty big number, right? If I'm starting at like $61 and I could save $17 a week, like how long is it going to take you to save 500 bucks? That's going to be a while. So that's a pretty big number, right? So if I'm doing like like maybe my bench lift is, or my bench press is 61 pounds and I can go up by 17 pounds a week, it's going to take me a long time to get to a bench press of 500. Okay, it'll take me a longer time to get to a bench press of 1,000. So pick a number that seems reasonable to you, that's going up. The book will always pick 1E99, okay, because that's one with 99 zeros next to it. You'll never see it, okay? But I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick 500. I'll pick 1,000. Okay, so there's 1,000. And then our mean, our standard deviation. So we have 61, and our standard deviation is going to be 17. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing, right? And that's our proportion. Okay, so it's not that big of an area. It's like 1%. Okay, so it's 0.010890. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to call it the 4 decimal places, so we'll call it that. So we'll say 0.0109. Okay, so that's the proportion. It's about 1.09%. Okay, so I think they're going to want what proportion? We're going to say 0.0109. Okay, that's how they're going to want us to put that in there. So let's check. Hooray. Okay, what's the probability that a randomly chosen value will be less than 82? Okay, so now they want less than 82. Okay, and we're only going to 4 decimal places. So if you feel compelled to write in the 1EE99, you go right ahead. Nobody's going to stop you. Okay, I'm not going to get mad at you for doing that. That's the way the book does it. You're going to be right all the way out here to about the 50th decimal place, but they don't ask for that. So it's not worth going through all that extra effort to write that down. So part of this is like a number sense kind of a thing, and that's what the important thing you can learn here. But they want less than 82. Okay, so again, our mean here is 61. Okay, and then they wanted, what did they want? They wanted our value to be less than 82. So we're going to go up here. Here's 82. They want all of this area here. So we have to pick a number that is small in comparison to an average of 61 if we can take steps to $17. Okay, so if you had $61 in your bank account and you made $17 for your allowance or your job per week, you had a horrible gambling problem where you're constantly losing that $17. Like, how many weeks is going to take you to get down to zero? It's going to take you a lot of weeks. How many weeks is it going to take you to get down to like negative, to be in debt? Okay, so you could write that down. That could be, we could say negative 100. It's going to take you a lot of weeks by taking steps of 17 to get down to a debt of $100. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to say, okay, second function, distribution. Oops, I don't want second function. I want quit. So I want second function, distributions, norm, CDF. Pick a small number relative to that mean of 61 with steps of 17. Okay, I'll pick negative 100. Okay, what's my high number? We're going up to 82. That's what they said, less than 82. Okay, and then what is our average? 61. And what steps are we taking? We're taking steps of 17. Okay. And there we go. Enter that in. We got 0.8916. Okay. So this area here, this is 0.8916. Okay, I'll put the 0 in there because 896. Okay, because that's the best practice. So we'll give you that. That way, the people that are studying nursing, going through biology, that they're used to seeing it this way, we should all be used to seeing it this way. Okay, there's a better way to go. Okay, 0 point, 0.8916. Okay, and that is our probability that some random number is going to be less than 82 for this scenario. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Right. Hooray, we got a check mark. Okay, so I'll go on and I'll make sure that we do I'll try to do as many of these as I can, because I know that doing this for the first time can be a little rough. So I encourage you, this is the way you should use the videos. If you're stuck, please watch them. Okay, if you just need a little help, then please watch them. If you need somebody to talk to you as you're doing your homework, and it just helps you get through it, because somebody's standing there with you. I'm not literally standing there, but or physically standing there, but virtually standing there next to you, walking you through your problems. Then watch the videos and have it do this. But you should practice. If you're constantly like, let's see what he does, and let me just copy along. Like, don't do that. Okay, I have a friend, she could do a cartwheel on a balance beam. You guys would all pay really good money to watch me attempt that and break my neck. Okay, so it's important for a skill like this that you do it yourself and that you type the numbers into your calculator yourself and you try this yourself. So it's really important that we do that. But I also get that as you're learning it for the first time a little bit, first off, I talk a little bit slow. And secondly, if it helps you to do this, then please watch them, and I will help you along with this walk. Okay, but that's where we are. So thank you for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Study a little bit on your own, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.